Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is one of those videos where I kind of just I don't even know to call it a rant. Talk? Yeah, I guess talking is probably the best. But we are now seeing the aftermath of WrestleMania with Braun Breakker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman starting a faction group, whatever you want to call it. And I do believe there is a lot to come from this, so we'll kind of discuss it. Obviously, Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman aligned themselves and they turned on CM Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Well, Paul Heyman turned on him to help Rollins out. It was an absolute, just amazing moment to see and witness. And I was completely on the edge of my seat, just screaming at the TV because I'm a big Seth Rollins fan. So I wanted him to win, and I think this was an amazing way to see it because like Paul Heyman's like a really good mouthpiece and a really good like sniveling person to put with another heel. But I think it's going to be even more crazy with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is already good on the mic and he has already a lot of stuff to do. So like this is kind of one of those crazy things that like yeah, there might be a lot of stuff that comes from this, and we could really see a change in a lot of storyline and everything. So I'm buckled up and I'm ready to go. And then on the Raw after Mania with CM Punk and Roman Reigns coming to exact their revenge against Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, Braun Breakker revealed himself to be helping them out, and I think that was the perfect pick. I was thinking about doing a video about it, but I wanted to watch Mania or Raw after Mania to like maybe think about if they were gonna add somebody else. Like maybe they'll hint at it, but then they just straight up showed us, and I was like, yeah, this is the call. With Braun Breaker dropping the title, it really does allow him to be more open up to be like doing this type of stuff, and I think instantly we really need a Braun and Seth Rollins tag team match against CM Punk and Roman Reigns as soon as possible. I mean, I'm fine with Backlash. I might have tickets to No, I do have tickets to Backlash, but I would definitely like to see this type of match there. But I digress on that part. That's just kind of wishful thinking. We might even get that sooner or later, just depending on honestly Roman Reigns. To be fair, I think this match, this group is going to be really good. I do believe that they could definitely use some more people in it. I know they've mentioned a couple things, so I figured I'd go over the discussion the prospects out there and what each would mean to it. Obviously, the number one person that they should think about is Becky Lynch. Obviously, the connection with Seth Rollins, being married is insane, and Becky Lynch just turned heel herself. I think it would be a good pick. I mean, you can't really not think about that. I mean, Becky can go on her own and do all of the stuff and not need this type of group, but I do think it would be an interesting combination. We really haven't seen anything like this before because the biggest group that people have been talking about is like Evolution, and I could see the feelings, which would have, Braun Breaker as Batista, Seth Rollins as Triple H, Paul Heyman as Ric Flair, and then you'd have your Randy Orton, the young and upcoming crazy person, which you could also probably put Braun Breaker in it. I feel like some of the other ideas of people, it kind of fits being somebody on the, also younger side. It feels weird to say that about Braun Breaker, but I feel like he's just so mature and he's already had so much time under his, not like, time in general under his belt, that he might not be the young muscle guy. Like, he's just the big bulky. I don't know. It could work either way, but I think Becky Lynch would be an interesting choice to kind of get rid of that like whole evolution comparison. And a plus, just having Becky with Seth and all that would be kind of fun to see on a daily or a weekly basis. Other big pick a lot of people were talking about was Austin Theory because he fits like the whole young mold that like maybe Randy Orton would have felt, or like with that whole evolution thing. I was honestly not super huge into Austin Theory being that person. I do believe Austin Theory's next run should be like a babyface run. I think they should pull the trigger on that sooner than later, of like him kind of falling out of stock with him and A Town Down Under. I feel like that's kind of ran a lot of its course, and I think a face turn for him honestly, I think would do wonders for his current career and current status in the organization. But I guess we'll see. Another big pick that a lot of people were talking about was Carmelo Hayes. I would honestly believe Carmelo would be a very good choice for this. I think the only issue is that they've been like using him with Miz Don't Miss, and it would feel like it's completely sudden and shell shock to move him out of that storyline. I don't have a problem with it. I just feel like some people who have watched wouldn't. I also think the alternative is to use Trick Williams and have him called up because Braun Breaker and Carmelo have had a rivalry together, but Trick, like has had a little bit, but he's also been kind of on the side area where he like maybe kind of low key respects Braun Breaker. And I think Trick Williams is not somebody a lot of people have been talking about, but I think Trick Williams would be perfect for this. People had originally said Drew McIntyre. I honestly am not opposed to that either. I think it's a little bit one of those like he's almost too big to put in there because it would be really big super group and who takes them out. A lot of people had been talking about like a tag team, which would have been Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I think is the perfect team. Obviously, they're not heels at the moment, but if they wanted to call them up or if they were just going to call up Nathan Frazier, he is like Seth Rollins' protege, so it would work really well to the storyline. And he's already kind of a face, but like he could easily turn heel because he wants to win and do stuff. And a Braun Breaker Nathan Frazier tag team, I think, would go absolute bonkers between the strength and the stuff that they could do. Honestly, Axiom would also be up in there for me. I just don't think at the moment it makes a lot of sense for his character unless all of a sudden they change it really fast. And those are just a lot of the wish list. There's a lot of people that you could plug and play here. I definitely do believe my favorite for it would be honestly Trick Williams. I think Trick Williams' character right now would fit perfectly in here. And not a lot. I would say not a lot. I've not seen anybody talk about Trick Williams being in there. I've seen Carmelo. I've seen Austin Theory. I've seen Becky Lynch. I've seen Fraxium, and I've seen those like talked, but I've not seen anybody talk about Trick Williams. And it would be kind of cool if I could call that, So yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments below of what this group is and what they should even call it too. That's another thing. That name is always one of those things that needs to be like done and put down because like once you get a good name or something like crazy that people can get like slunk onto, then it really does make the faction even better. And I'm really excited to see what happens there. I really don't. I really want to see what happens and just altogether. I believe Seth Rollins will be setting up a run at Jey Uso, and I think that would be a really good matchup. I think Jey should have a mini feud before that, and they should give Seth time to take out Roman and CM Punk. And I think that in its own vein will be kind of crazy. Also, I thought maybe Pretty Deadly would also be like an interesting combination if they were going to get a different tag team that's on the main roster, because Pretty Freaking Deadly would be kind of cool. But I don't know if it fits exactly the vibe that they're going for right now. But we still don't know a lot about this whole thing. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you like daily wrestling content, this is a nice home for you. And we like to discuss content or discuss wrestling in general. And if you guys enjoy that, just don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys.